histograms are probably one of the most utilized statistical graphs there are. And they're similar to a bar graph. And you have your frequencies on your your y-axis, and then your intervals on your x-axis. And there's no gaps between the bars. So before we start to create a histogram, let's take a look at some of the definitions that we need to know. So the frequency table is a table for organizing your data, and it's going to show your intervals and the number of events or the number of data items that you have. And your measurement classes is just another name for the different intervals that you're going to use. Okay, so the first step to creating a histogram is we need to identify the least and greatest values in our data set. So let's say that we have test scores from the last math quiz, and we'll say that the quiz was worth 50 points. And I look at my data set, and my smallest range is 22, or my smallest value, and my highest value looks like it's going to be a 47. All right, so that means that my range is from 22 to 47. And so now I need to create the measurement classes of equal width. So if I have, let's see, 22 to 47, let's use intervals of 5. Okay, because that's going to give me a pretty good range or a pretty good idea of everything that's in my data class. So since my lowest value is 22, let's start my first range at 20, and then my highest I'm going to end at 50, because 47 will fall under the 50. So my first range of interval, and if I'm doing it in sets of 5, is going to be 21, or 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. That covers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of data. So I'm going to have a range of like 20 to 24, 25 to 29, etc. Okay, so my frequency table is just kind of like a tally chart. So I use my measurement classes. So let's set that up. Okay, my intervals. Okay, and then I have my frequencies. And I'm going to use 20 to 24, 25 to 29, 30 to 34, 35 to 39, 40 to 44, and 45 to 50. That gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different intervals, which should show a nice range over all of my data set. So now I just tally using my data. So my first number is 40, so it's going to fall in this interval. My second one's 34, so there, 38, 23, 41, 39, another 39, a 34, a 43, a 32, 44, 41, 39, 22, 47, 36, 25, and 41. Okay, so that means that for the 20 to 24 range, I have 2 frequencies. 25 to 29, I have 1 frequency. 30 to 34, I have 3 frequencies. 35 to 39, I have 5. 40 to 45, I have 6. And 45 to 50, I have 1. Okay, now the next step, step 4, is going to be creating the histogram using our frequency table. So I'm going to draw my x-axis and my y-axis, and I'm going to mark my intervals. So this is going to be 20 to 24. This is going to be 25 to 29, 30 to 34, 35 to 39, 40 to 44, and then 45 to 50. And then my frequencies are going to be just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, now it's a matter of just drawing my bars to match my frequencies. So for 20 to 24, I have 2. So I come up and I make the bar graph, and then 25 to 29 is 1. And then 30 to 34 is at 3. 35 to 39 is 5. 40 to 45 is 6. And 45 to 50 is 1. And there is my histogram. All right, so how do we analyze a histogram? Well, the first thing we're going to look at is the overall shape, okay? And as you can see, the graph kind of has an upward trend, okay? So it's going to be skewed. We could describe it as being skewed to the right. And considering that this is based on our test scores, that means that the higher test scores are in the upper range of the test, which is a good thing. So we could say that overall, in general, the students did pretty well on this particular quiz. Further, to look at our measures of central tendency, we have our mode, we have a mean, and we have our median. So which one's going to be the best to use for analyzing a histogram? Well, let's talk about the mode first. The mode is the number that occurs the most. And while we don't know what the actual data points are, all we know is that, for instance, there are 6 within the 40 and 44 range. We don't know the specific numbers, so therefore we can't use the mode. Same thing kind of happens with the mean. I know that there are 5 within the 35 to 39 range, but again, I don't know the specific data points, so I can't use the mean because we're only looking at the histogram. We're not looking at the actual data set. That leaves the median. I can definitely use the median as our to find the middle value, because if I know that there are 2 in the lower and 1 in the middle, then, or I mean in the upper, I can kind of find the middle number or range in our histogram. So I have 1 here, I have 1 here. I have another one at the top, another one, or the bottom, and then 1 at the top. Have the next one up, and there's 2. Then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. I got 1, 2, 3. And then I have 1 here and 1 here. I'm getting towards the middle. So I know that this part is going to be the median of my data set. So therefore, my median, I don't know the actual specific number, but I do know my interval range. So my median is going to be the interval of 35 to 39.